I know we're going by the alphabet here, but can you believe it's been almost 6 months since we've been back here in Europe? And welcome back to Cliffieland. This is weekend country number 94 on our second attempt of cooking the food of every single country in the world. And tonight we're up to the nation of Latvia. Latvia, located in the Baltic region of Northern Europe, is bordered by Estonia, Lithuania, Belarus, and Russia. And its food is pretty typical of that of the region, except for Estonia, which is a little more Scandinavian than the others, but that's a different story. It prominently features the use of potatoes and barley and lots of fish and pork, and the food tends to be a little fattier than others. Uses very little spice other than black pepper, and you're going to see that in tonight's recipe. Tonight we're going to be doing a very traditional pork stew from Latvia, and it's the same recipe we used last time, so let's take a look and see how things went when we tried it then. Well, 4 years ago on the Global Cooking Challenge, I was looking at this pretty simple recipe and I thought it was way too big, so I cut it in half, and I did it, and it came out rather well, even though I did forget to put the sour cream on top for the actual dishes, but it wound up tasting really good and I enjoyed it. But since it was so simple, I was kind of disappointed in a couple key facts. One of them was the fact that I thought I kind of screwed things up by cutting it in half, so I was going to fix that this time. And the other one, I was hoping I wouldn't make the same mistake twice, but you'll see how that goes in a minute. That said, we need to look and see what goes into tonight's recipe. For our Latvian pork stew, we'll need 3 tablespoons of canola oil, 1 3/4 pounds of boneless pork shoulder cut into 1 1/2 inch chunks, kosher salt and freshly ground black pepper to taste, 3 cloves of garlic minced, 1 large yellow onion minced, 1 cup of pitted prunes halved, 3 ribs of celery cut into 1/2 inch thick slices, 4 medium carrots peeled and cut into 3/4 inch thick rounds, 1 medium head of cabbage cored and roughly shredded, 3 1/2 pounds of Yukon Gold potatoes peeled and cut into 1 1/2 inch chunks, 2/3 of a cup of canned tomato sauce, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1 tablespoon of red wine vinegar, and sour cream to garnish. Well, that shouldn't be too tough. Let's see how the cook went. Heat the oil in an 8-quart Dutch oven over medium-high heat. Season the pork with salt and pepper, then working in batches, add the pork to the pot, and cook, stirring occasionally until brown, about 10 minutes. Transfer to a bowl and set aside. Remember to work in batches to allow the pork to brown. Add the onions to the pot, add the garlic to the pot, and cook, stirring occasionally until soft, about 4 minutes. Now, since we didn't have an 8-quart Dutch oven, I rigged the large steamer attachment to a 6-quart saucepan for this. And we return the onions and the garlic to the pot here. Then, without stirring, return the pork to the pot and begin layering with prunes, celery, carrots. The recipe calls for the cabbage here, but we didn't know if it would all fit if we did that. So we continued with the potatoes. Then into a small bowl place 1 cup of water, tomato sauce, red wine vinegar, and sugar, and mix together. Pour the liquid over the potatoes, and here's where we added most of the cabbage. Cover the pot and cook, shaking occasionally until the pork and vegetables are tender, about 1 hour. Uncover and serve. Plate servings of the stew, trying to get all layers into the bowl. Serve each portion with a dollop of sour cream. And enjoy. How'd that all turn out? Well, once again, it seemed very delicious. I remembered to put the sour cream on top, which was very key to the whole thing. It had a nice flavor from the potatoes and a little bit of crunch from the celery. The sweetness of the prunes and the cabbage was really nice. However, I did kind of screw things up again in the same way, which was kind of disappointing, so let's get through those things. First, I didn't have an 8-quart Dutch oven. I wound up using a 6-quart saucepan that I kind of rigged, and that kind of worked. However, most importantly is the fact that it, I looked at the recipe and I interpreted it literally like I did last time, and I didn't turn down the heat like I should have, and I wound up with a whole layer of burnt onions and garlic at the bottom, which really would have changed the flavor of the dish and feels like a really stupid mistake to make. It wasn't in the recipe, I should have caught it on my own, but oops. If you choose to do it, make sure you do that. And get an 8-quart Dutch oven. So that does it for Latvia. It was really delicious. Hope we enjoyed our brief stay in Europe here, but next week we're heading back to the Middle East to have another dish from there and the food of Lebanon. See you then. And remember, if you'd like to see our streams live when they happen every Tuesday night, be sure to follow us on Periscope or Facebook Live, like and subscribe to be advised when these videos are posted. Remember, links to the original recipes can always be found in the About section. And if you have any thoughtful feelings or helpful suggestions about the food that we're cooking, let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching and happy eating!